Hello everyone. Today I came up with the idea to give you guys a tour of the area where I create my art. So since I mainly do art on this channel, I thought, well, why not show you where I sit and create my art? So if you are interested in seeing that, just keep watching. Okay, so starting off with this area here, this this is my dining room area, but it mainly serves as, I don't have it set up as a dining room. I have it pretty much set up to serve me as far as doing my art and being able to be creative, because that serves me much more than a dining room would. So the first thing you would see in this area is, well, I have my chair here with Einstein, my little bestie sitting there, and one of my favorite Norman Rockwell paintings here on the wall, The Doctor and the Doll. Love that painting. And the flash is kind of on here, but this is like a little bookshop area, thrift shop area, and the name of it is Shakespeare. I love that. Love that painting. And I store books in every little area I can. This painting is very famous painting here, The Creation of Adam, I by Michelangelo. I love that painting. That is my favorite. Of course, this is just a small snippet of the painting, but it is the most important part of the painting. So I love that painting. And this is my tallest bookshelf that is here. This bookshelf mainly contains art books, and this one is everything from fiction to nonfiction on this shelf here. And then this wall has my platform 9 3/4 plaque hanging up top, and this little faux brick wall that I created. I just love the look of it. I may extend the bricks to behind the bookshelf. That's actually little um, peel and stick paper that I purchased from Dollar Tree, and I cut the bricks up to give it more of an aesthetic look, so that they can have like little separated areas. And then this wall here is just my aesthetic wall over my desk. And one of my favorite things hanging here is my Louisiana World's Fair license plate. I love that. I have pictures of my family hanging on the board, and you can't see it because my ring light is here, but I love this little bookmark here. It says, I had fun once. It was awful. I love that bookmark. So in this area, I am currently creating. So when I'm filming, as I'm sketching, I'm normally filming from this tripod. And speaking of tripod, this is my bigger tripod here, which holds my prize Faber-Castell pencils. I love these pencils. And if anyone wonders how I get these pencils to sit on this tripod, it is because this is actually a watercolor palette that has magnets on it. So I utilize space in any way I possibly can. So when I'm not using a watercolor palette, I have my pencils here and I can use my pencils. I don't really use them that much right now because I'm doing a lot of sketchbook work. So I would rather do them for more professional work. And my when I'm doing my sketchbook work, I just grab whatever pencils or whatever suits me in order to do that. Here I have one of my handmade watercolor palettes. Well, not handmade, but hand filled. And this contains Daniel Smith and Winsor and Newton, both professional watercolors. Some of them are Winsor and Newton and some are Daniel Smith. This one here, the only one in here is M. Graham. And I made that out of this little trinket box. I'm not sure if I'm going to eventually put something on this little trinket box or just leave it as it is to kind of cover up this image. But it doesn't bother me because I kind of flip it over when I'm ready to paint. And I use the lid as a mixing palette and this little bowl. And both of these items I purchased from the Dollar Tree. And if I paid $6 altogether for both, then that would be saying a lot because they were very, very affordable. And I was able to pick them up both up on the same day. Also, normally this is much more full. I like to fill this with fall paper candies, but they have to be like very aesthetically pleasing candies. I don't put just anything in there. This little flower here, this is a Lego flower that my daughter just made for me like last week, I think it was. And she just walked to my desk and gave it to me. It has two leaves on it. I think this rotates. Oh yeah, it does. So she just made that for me and I just sit it here on my desk. I'll fix it in a minute. And this is where I create. And most of the time I use my iPad for reference. So that's why my iPad is sitting here because I'm currently using it for my reference photo for this image that I'm working on right now. And the table over here, this is what I call my little wing table. And often I have extra stuff on this table that may not fit on my desk. If I'm doing a live sketch, I may have this sitting here or I have a pencil pouch that contains all of my pencils. I may sit that there. So it's more convenient for me to pick some of my stuff up and not have my desk too cluttered and not easy for me to work on. So moving over this way, this is my kitchen and I really just did a kitchen tour, so I won't be doing too much up in here. The kitchen is closed for tonight. So if you want to see the kitchen tour, I just posted a kitchen tour like last week. Okay, so on this side, I also have a few books stored here. That's coffee candies inside of the coffee jar, but that is that area. And this, I'll step back. Well, first I'll start at the door area. So this shows just how teeny tiny my apartment is, but I'm making use of the space that I have. And this is what I consider my painting studio. So to let me, well, I'll go over there. You'll see once I get over there. So I have a few, I still have a nice sitting area here for if I have company. So that area is not congested at all. And then here over to my right is paintings that I have completed, paintings that I am working on. And this one was a new request that I just received last night that I'm about to get busy on. And I also have a few on one painting here on this side. So in that little David statue vase, my sister purchased that for me maybe about a year ago now, and I absolutely love it. I just love it. So this is my little studio area, and I have a little work to do between. And what's so convenient about it is I have to go ahead on and put another layer of the black paint on this canvas. And as that dry, I can jump back and forth between projects. Make sure I have no paint on my hands because I would be furious if I had paint on my hands. So as that canvas dries, I will jump back over here and do a little work on here. So it kind of keeps me busy in my little art studio, which I call my art studio. And I spend the most time here at my desk. This is where I spend the most of my time. And another thing I have right here, this this is my little snacks that I keep next to my desk. This is a wine box, and I just keep my little snacks stored next to my desk. And these rocks here, both right here and right here. Eventually, one day you guys will see me paint these rocks so that I can do rock paintings with them. And I will get to that eventually. But this is my a look at my little creativity area, my little art studio. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this. And if there is anything else you would like to request I show, just let me know. But until next time, thank you so much for watching.